Do you still know me?
No. I don't know you.
I'm Mrs. S's daughter.
Perhaps I was mistaken. I had seen her only once, years ago. Perhaps I had come to the wrong address.
The woman opened the door and stepped to the side. She was wearing a green cardigan. This was the same cardigan that my mother had knitted. So I knew I was at the right address. Well, you knew my mother?
Have you come back? I thought that no one had come back.
Only me.
I regret I cannot do anything for you.
I've come here specially on the train. I wanted to talk to you for a moment.
It is not convenient for me now. I can't see you. Another time.
I stood where I was on the step.
What does she want?
Oh, nothing. It was nothing.
I looked at the nameplate again. Dorling, it said, in black letters on white enamel. And a bit higher, the number. Number 46. As I walked back to the station, I thought about my mother, who had given me the address years ago. It was the first half of the war. I was home for a few days, and it struck to me that something about the room had changed.
Mommy. Something has changed in our house. Many things are missing.
What? Marga, you should have noticed it earlier. Mrs. Dorling. She was my acquaintance. I hadn't seen her for years. But then, suddenly, she started coming here regularly. Every time she leaves here, she takes something home with her. She took all the table silver in one go. And then the antique plates that hung there, and the large vases. I never asked her. She herself suggested it to me. She says, if we have to leave our home because of the war, we will lose everything.
Have you agreed with her that she should keep everything?
As if that's necessary. It would simply be an insult to talk like that. And think about the risk she's taking each time she goes out of our door with a full suitcase or bag. It's not safe to go out during the war.
Let me explain the backstory. It was the time of the Second World War. The narrator, Marga Minko, lived in Holland. Mrs. Dorling would come to their home and take things with her. The antique plates, vases, etc. She would say that, if Marga's family had to leave their home, the items would remain safe with her. In the war, everyone in the family died, except Marga. Now she lives in a small rented room.
Meanwhile, I had arrived at the station, ignoring things on the way. I was walking in familiar places again for the first time after the war. I didn't want to upset myself with the sight of streets and houses full of memories from a precious time. In the train, I thought of the time when I saw Mrs. Dorling for the first time. It was the morning after the day my mother had told me about her. I had got up late, and, coming downstairs, I saw my mother seeing a woman with a broad back.
There is my daughter.
Does she live far away?
In Marconi Street, number 46. Remember that.
I remembered the address. But I never went there. After the war had ended, I was not interested in all that stuff, and I was even afraid of it. Afraid of facing the things that had belonged to a connection that no longer existed. But gradually, everything became normal again. Bread was getting to be a lighter color, there was a bed you could sleep in unthreatened, a room with a view you were more used to glancing at each day. One day, I was curious about the things. I wanted to see them, touch, remember. But, as you know, the visit went in vain. Then, I decided to go there again. A girl of about 15 opened the door. Is your mother at home?
No. My mother is out at the moment.
No matter, I will wait for her.
Along the passage. A Hanukkah candle holder hung next to a mirror. It was ours. But we never used it because it was much more difficult to handle than a single candlestick.
Won't you sit down?
I stopped, horrified. I was in a room I knew, but did not know. I found myself in the middle of the things I wanted to see again, but the things oppressed me in this strange atmosphere. I sat down and stared at the woolen tablecloth. I rubbed it. My fingers grew warm from rubbing. I followed the lines of the pattern. If it was ours, there should be a burn mark somewhere on the edge.
My mother will be back soon. I have already made tea for her. Will you have a cup?
Thank you.
The girl put cups ready on the table. She poured tea from a white pot. All it had was a gold border on the lid. She opened a box and took some spoons out.
That's a nice box.
I heard my own voice. It was strange. As though each sound was different in this room.
Oh, you know about them? My mother says it is antique. Ha ha ha. We have got lots more. See for yourself.
I had no need to follow her hand. I knew which things she meant. I just looked at the still life over the tea table. As a child, I had always imagined the apple on the pewter plate.
We use it for everything. Once we even ate off the plates hanging there on the wall. I wanted to so much. But it wasn't anything special.
I had found the burn mark on the tablecloth.
Yes. You get so used to touching all these lovely things in the house that you hardly look at them anymore. You only notice when something is missing.
Again, I heard the unnatural sound of my voice, and I went on.
I remember, my mother once asked me if I would help her polish the silver. It was a very long time ago. I asked her which silver she meant, and she replied that it was the spoons, forks, and knives. And that was the strange thing. I didn't know the cutlery we ate off every day was silver.
Ha ha ha.
I bet you don't know it is either.
What we eat with?
Well, do you know?
I'll look. It's in here.
I was forgetting the time. I must catch my train.
Don't you want to wait for my mother?
No, I must go.
I will find my own way.
At the corner of the road, I looked up at the nameplate. Marconi Street, it said. I had been at number 46. The address was correct. But now I didn't want to remember it anymore. I will never go back there again. Because the things that are linked in your memory with the life of the past instantly lose their value when you see them again in strange surroundings. And what should I have done with them in a small rented room, where the shreds of blackout paper still hung along the windows? And no more than a handful of cutlery fitted in the narrow table drawer? I resolved to forget the address. Of all the things I had to forget, that would be the easiest.